If you're watching right now, it means to me that you're ready for a reset. You're ready for a clean out. You're ready for a refocus. Maybe you're like, Jay, I just need to press that reset button so that I can restart and focus in the direction I want to go. I have used each of these habits to reset when I've been tired, low on energy, feeling no momentum, and feeling no motivation, and I have no idea how anyone functions without them. In 7 days, you'll notice that these habits don't fight your life, they fit inside it. Each one meets you in the exact moment your mind starts to spiral. They don't demand more time, they reclaim the time your stress is already stealing. Small habits don't just change your days, they change the way your days feel.
You want to be truly wealthy? Stop putting negative thoughts in your head. Your subconscious mind does not know the difference between the truth and a lie. So when you say things to yourself like, I'm broke, I can't afford it, money doesn't grow on trees, I can't do it now, your brain believes it. And if your brain believes it, it's true. That's just the simple fact of life. So stop saying these things because they're not true. You can find a way, you can find the money, you can find a deal. You just got to go out and make it happen. But the most important thing to do in the very beginning of the game is, while you're trying to get there, is don't tell your brain what you can't do. Only focus on what you can do. Mirror people who have done it, and you'll figure out that they're no different than you. They've just been in the game longer, or maybe they got a little luckier, but you're going to get lucky too. That's how working hard works. So stop talking negative thoughts to yourself, not even as a joke. Absolutely never do it. Only find the good, find the positive, and focus on that, and you're going to get a deal real soon.
In order for something new to come, something old must go. And that old can sometimes mean let go of what you know until now. Empty the cup and start from the beginning. It's not easy to do, but at the moment it's the only way that I see how something that is blocked can be brought back to movement. You must spill the old tea and pour in new one. Then things look different.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but let me tell you something. Starting over is not the end. You can lose everything, fall flat on your face, and still get back up. But don't let your pride keep you stuck, because sometimes the reset is exactly what you need. Just because you're at zero doesn't mean you're finished. It just means you've been given another chance to build it better, stronger, and smarter. You can start over from scratch and still win.
Why do so many smart people still end up broke?
They overthink everything. The truth is, I think dumber people have an advantage, and I put myself into that category because we don't think of every single thing that could go wrong. We just think of the one or two things that could go right, and we focus on that. And it might not go right, but we'll still hold hope that there's another one or two things. Smart people know too many reasons why things can fail, and they call it analysis paralysis.
One of the greatest skills you can develop in this lifetime is your ability to reset quick. If someone ignores you, just move on. If you do something embarrassing or make a mistake, you just reset and keep going. So many people stay stuck not because of what happened to them, but because they keep reliving the situation. Psychologists call it rumination. It's when your mind keeps replaying the same thought or same experience over and over and over again. And eventually, a small little 5-minute problem turns into a week of stress. The goal isn't to have a perfect life where nothing ever goes wrong. That's not feasible. The goal is to stop giving these temporary little problems more attention than they deserve. Because the longer you sit in one negative thought, the more your brain starts to look for evidence that everything else is going wrong too. One bad moment turns into a bad day turns into a bad week. Life isn't going to get easier because bad things stop happening. It gets easier when you get better at letting them go. You can't control everything that happens to you, but you can control how quickly you decide to move forward, and that changes everything.
Sometimes all a man needs is a reset. Not a lecture, not motivation, not a list of all the areas he's fallen short. Sometimes all he needs is a reset. Brother, life been wearing you down. Pressure to provide, the weight of mistakes that you can't undo, the silent battles in your head that nobody even knows you're fighting. And if you never hit reset, you end up stuck in cycles, stuck in silence, stuck in survival instead of living. Brother, you deserve that reset. Not just a break, not just a distraction, a real reset that helps you finally become the man that you know that you can be.
The only way you'll ever get rich is by programming your subconscious mind. And basically what that means is literally faking it till you make it. And no, that's not a bad thing. It is the blueprint to success. Right now, you are not a person that's worthy of success. Therefore, what do you have to do? You would have to act like the version of yourself that is worthy for success. So how would you behave? How would you talk? How would you act? And you need to feed yourself these things every single day, telling yourself, I am this, I am that. And it has to be in the present moment. It can't be like, oh, one day I'll be rich. It has to be, I am rich now. And your mind doesn't know the difference between your little words and what reality really is. So the more you say it and the more you do it, that's when your subconscious becomes programmed. And that's when you become and you step into the version of yourself that you want to be, and then you get rich.
Hey, they say take your energy back and they'll come, or leave it alone and it'll come. Why would I take my energy back from something that I actually want? If I leave it alone, that means I don't want it. This means recenter your energy. You've been approaching what you want from a place of desperation. So how do you know when it's desperation? It's nervous excitement. You feel like you may never get another chance at this. And so you either consciously or subconsciously push and pull, force, worry, fret, beg and plead, and your focus is on the absence of the opportunity. This makes your breath shallow and it causes resistance and pushes you further away from what you want. It's when you get better at deepening the breath flowing in and out of your body so that you can feel more grounded, feel more centered. And that centeredness is the feeling of having what it is that you want already. And that feeling draws what you actually want closer to you. And when you get the physical evidence of it, you'll know that it's for you based on that feeling. If it's opposite of that feeling, it's not yours.
Hey, listen, sometimes you just have to disappear to get it together. No text, no calls, and no distractions. Fix your focus, heal your mind, build in silence. Because it's not about proving anybody wrong. It's about becoming who you were always meant to be.
You have the power to reinvent yourself. And reinventing yourself is not about becoming someone new. That would mean you would be inventing yourself, and you've already been invented. And so all reinvention is a subtraction. So reinvention equals simplification, getting the weight off of me so that I can be who I'm supposed to be. So the problem to solve for is getting the weight off. And you're like, well, how do I do that? Good question. There's a quote that I love and it says, my job is to do the natural. God's job is to do the supernatural. And a lot of the weight that we're carrying, yes, it has to do with old things that have happened to us, but a lot of it is fear and worry because we're trying to play God in our lives. And so where in your life can you subtract fear that is not your fear, not your burden to carry? Our future is constructed by how we are now, right now. And the most important thing for right now is getting the weight off and getting our hearts into a place to where we can be connected to a vibration that will bring us into a flow state to bring us to where we're supposed to be. So let me tell you what I'm doing so you can know. Number one, I've surrendered everything that is out of my control, and I've decided to go day by day, and I've strictly focused on my mornings, because if I can win the morning and I can get myself into a place to receive, I will live life through a place of inspiration rather than fear. And so I wake up, I go to the gym, I get in the sauna, I meditate, I go for a walk, and I listen, and I don't play God anymore. And the inspiration is coming back, and the next step is being revealed. Not the full plan, just the next step. Can you be okay with surrendering the playing of God? And can you step back into simplicity and trust?
The longer you stay in a city that's out of alignment, the more you're going to suffer monetarily, and as a result, the more health consequences you're going to have to face. Because money is not simply just a monetary equivalent, it's also an energetic equivalent. So if you're in a city where you don't feel seen, where you don't feel heard, where you don't feel supported, where you don't feel like you can just be your authentic self, where you feel like you always have to wear this mask in front of you just to show up, then you're going to suffer because your body is going to feel that and pay the price. And then your finances are also going to feel that and pay the price.
No, in due time, things that you desire and you need will come to you and be in your reality. You know, lately I've been really big on just taking time to rest and taking time to realize that sometimes we all need these rest periods. We need these times to reflect on ourselves and decompress in order to have mental clarity. I feel like social media will push out this idea that you have to grind until you drop, or you have to grind to get this large scale of things that you desire in a short amount of time, instead of realizing that everything has its own timeline. And you're gonna have to go through lessons and go through things to acquire the things that you desire and you need. But if you never take time to focus on yourself and take time to rest and understand it's okay to rest, then you're never going to have these things, because you're going to get mental burnout. You're not going to be able to focus because you're going to be tired. You know, when I was growing up, I wanted everything to come like when I had the idea or the time frame, instead of realizing that I can't force a time frame. You see, the only job that we have is to put the work in and the idea behind what we desire, and those things will come to us when they're meant to come to us. But if you try to force a reality, you're going to end up burnt out, because you're going to try to meet deadlines and meet certain things that aren't realistic. You have to give yourself time to focus on what it is that you desire, so that those things can come to you and you can sustain those things.
Disappear. That's the first thing you need to do if you want to change your life. Sit with yourself, write down your goals. What's your goal for the next month, what next 12 months, 5 years? And then disappear. No one has ever seen someone become successful. No one. Usually they disappear for a while and they show back up and they're like, oh my God, how did you do it? What did you do? What's the first thing you did? Tell me your secret. Guys, disappear. Your environment, disappear. Your environment could be toxic. Remember, you're in an environment, your ears are hearing toxic negative feedback from people. And that's a gateway to your mind and to your soul. You have to disappear. Click all that off. Change your environment. Disappearing is the first rule to reset. So if you want to reset your life, you want to change the way you're living, you want to change something, reset. And the best way to do it is if you disappear. Now, no one is watching. It's just you, all you. You have to remember, you don't want to let yourself down. You are the most important thing. You are more important than anyone else.
Resting is a productive activity. Resting is a productive activity. We just think it isn't because we've been conditioned to think that way. Ever since we're kids, we're told resting is lazy, that it's a waste of time. But when we rest and we're not seemingly doing anything on the outside, on the inside, our bodies are carrying out millions and trillions of micro processes that's healing, digesting, repairing, and restoring our bodies and our minds. And these are things that can't happen when we're not resting. In other words, we have to rest for these specific processes to happen. We have to activate our parasympathetic mode in order to facilitate the processes of resting and digesting. Now, one caveat here is that using your phone or watching TV doesn't count as much because it's still stimulating your brain and not letting your brain, which is your central nervous system, rest completely. So although it looks like you're resting on the outside and your physical body might be at rest, you're not truly getting the full benefits of rest. But otherwise, know that rest is an extremely productive activity. Enjoy your times when you don't have to do anything and when you're not doing anything. Don't feel guilty about it because you're actually doing a lot while you're not doing anything.
I'm not really sure who needs to hear this, but it's okay to start over sometimes. Sometimes we all need a fresh start. It's okay to start over with a new job, a new career, a new lifestyle, a new relationship or new friendships, a new home, a new city, just a new anything. And it's even okay for us to change as individuals as well. We're allowed to change our hobbies. We're allowed to change the way that we dress, the way that we talk, and we're allowed to change and start fresh in any way that we would like to without anyone's validation, because it's your life. And yeah, starting over can be tough. And just know you're allowed to start over as many times as you need to until you get it right. And you don't owe anyone an explanation on why you're starting over every time, because it's your life and it's your journey.
Stop trying to change. That's why you're stuck. You don't need more discipline. You don't need another sermon. You don't need to try harder. You need to reset your identity, because you cannot outperform what you still agree with. Let me say that again. You cannot outperform the identity you're still unconsciously agreeing with. That's why you keep looping. That's why you react. That's why you fall back into the same patterns. And that's exactly why Identity Reset is live. 4 weeks. Week number 1, you expose the pattern. Number 2, you withdraw agreement. Week 3, stabilize your internal authority. And week 4, you embody it so it sticks. 5 to 8 minutes a day. No hype, no emotional crash, no spiritual bypassing. Just structured identity shift.
When you detach from the outcome and you choose yourself, you realize that you don't need anyone or anything to complete you. And you start living from your original wholeness. And when you're living from wholeness, you're going with the flow. You're not resisting life. And this is when things get magical. This is when you still have desires and you still would like to be in that relationship and you would like for that thing to happen. But if it doesn't happen, you're not devastated. You're cool. You're fine either way. Krishnamurti said, "Here's my secret. I don't mind what happens." When you don't mind what happens, you become highly magnetic, and now you're available to receive the abundance that the universe wants to flow into your life.